Namaskar and welcome back to another episode of Unlocking Stars with Abhishek, a series on Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra. Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra is one of the finest scriptures available on Vedic astrology. In the previous episode, we did SayanAadi Avasthas of Saturn. In continuation with this series, today we will be doing different SayanAadi Avasthas of Rahu. So, in order to have a better insight on this, to understand more on this topic, we have with us our astro expert, Abhishek. Welcome, Abhishek.
Thank
So,
you.
please enlighten us on different verses, that is verse 124 to 134, related to different Shena Adi Avasthas of Rahu.
Thank you once again. And the same flavor, same feeling, the feeling of blessings coming from the cosmos through Mahaguru Maharshi Parasar when participating in this Gyan Yagya, doing commentary and reciting each verse one by one of Brihat Parasar Hora Shastra. That is the part of divine scripture, Mahavishnu Puran, we know. Great discourse between the greatest of the great teacher, Mahaguru Maharshi Parasa, and his beloved student, Maitre. Now we are in the last leg of this Graha Avastha Adhyay, wherein Mahaguru Maharshi Parasa revealing the SayanAadi Avastha, the 12 Avasthas of Rahu Dev, Rahu Graha. Rahu and Ketu, these are the lunar nodes. These are Chaya Graha. These are shadow planets. These are mathematically calculated sensitive points only. They don't have any pindas. But how important they are, how sensitive they got position in the celestial planetary cabinet among the main prime planets. In Navgraha, we are considering Rahu and Ketu. We got our mythological stories that is also shedding light on the importance of Rahu and Ketu. And astronomically also just we discussed, like these are behaving like a throwing like a lensing effect on the native's life. Let's pray humble tribute. Let's remember, let's immerse in the vibration of Rahudev with a sense of prayer, with a sense of homage, as Vedvyas did, Krishna Dwapayan did. Let's come. अर्धकायं महावीर्यं चन्द्रादित्यविमर्दनम् सिंहिका गर्भसम्भूतं तं राहुं प्रणमाम्यहम्. Even in this Rahu mantra, the flavor, the attributes of Rahu Dev is very beautifully depicted by great Ved Vyasa. And now we are going to dive down into the SayanAadi Avastha of this great Rahu Dev. So, as usual, before emerging into the Mahaguru Parasar Mahakathan, we will take the blessings of Adi Guru, Guru of the Guru, Dev of the Dev, Sri Mahadev. Let's come together. Om Aghorebhyot Ghorebhyo Ghora Ghora Taribhyascha Sarvatha Sarve Sarvebhyo Namaste Rudra Rupebhya. Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. After paying our respectful prayer in the lotus feet of Sri Mahadev, now we are ready to merge into Mahaguru Parasar Mahakatha. That is started, revelation is starting from the verse number 123, and that will goes up to 134, as you said. In this episode, we will follow the same structure. I will do the recitation and commentary for the 3 verses, and then we will discuss. We will try to elaborate together. Let's come in the first verse, very first verse. Yadagamo janmani yasya rahu क्लेशाधिकत्वं शयनं प्रयाते व्रीसे यथा युग्मे यपि च कन्यकायामजे समाजो धन धान्य रासे. So, if in the birth chart the great Rahu Dev is in the Sayan Avastha, the first Avastha, the Sayan Avastha, then usually that will give the trouble. Usually that is giving the trouble. But Mahaguru is coming up with some special cases. Some special cases he is coming up, Brisa, so that Taurus. And then he is talking about the Yugume, the pair. So after Taurus, he is indicating towards the Gemini, the pair, the Mithun Rasi. So Taurus and the Gemini. Or even in Mesh Rasi also. So Brishabh, and then Brishabh and Kanya also he is talking about Kanya Ka Yajme. So he is picking up Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Aries. Even Aries also he is picking up. Rahu Dev will bless native Dhan Dhanya. Dhan Dhanya means the wealth, all type of wealth. Because in Ashtalakshmi Strotra, the Dhan Lakshmi is also one of the Lakshmi, because getting crops. Indian society is an agricultural society, so having more and more crops this year. That is also blessings of the Lakshmi. So Dhan Dhanya, it means it is a combination for the blessing for the wealth. So usually Rahu Dev in Sayana Avastha will curse native, give troubles. But for these ascendants, these signs basically, if posited in these signs, not ascendant, these signs, particularly in this sign, like in Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and even in Aries, then he will bless native with the wealth in Sayana Avastha. After Sayana Avastha, Rahu Devi is coming up. We know the cycle now. We are doing Rahu, Upvesan Avastha. Let's immerse in the verse first. Upvesanamiha gatvati Rahu Dadrugadena jana paritaptaha Raj Samaj yuto bahumani Vit sukhena sada rahita syata. So in Upvesan Avastha, there is a possibility, there is a static promise, native might be cursed with the itching disease, dad khaj khujli, itching disease. But he might be recognized by the authority, Rajmanya, in the court of king, or in modern context, we can correlate this one having recognition from the authority, from the boss, from the supervisor. But he is getting recognition. He is Bahumani. But vitta sukhena sada rahita, but devoid of having wealth. That is the curse is also coming. When Rahu Devi is sitting in Upavesan Avastha in the birth chart of a native. We know the ground rule basically. Merely seeing a planet and merely seeing one Avastha, we are not going to tell anything. That's why Mahaguru Maharishi Parashara revealed especially the Falkathan Adhikari statement. So we know at this stage. We are now in the verse of finishing the aesthetic part of this Grantha. And then how to see the dynamic promises that will start from the next chapter, Dasara Adhyaya. So that ground rule we understand already. Now, in Netrapani Avastha, the next Avastha, Netrapani Avastha, revelation is coming through the verse number 125. नेत्रपानवर्गौ नेत्रे भवतो रोग पीडते दुष्ट व्यालारिचौराणाम भयम तस्य धनक्षयः. So Netrapani Avastha, native might be Netra Rogi, eye problem, disease related with the eyes. Native might be dust, so he is evil-hearted, and there is a bhaya, there is a fear from the snake. You know, Rahu is a Fanindra, snake. From the snake, from the enemy, and from the chore, from the thief also. So there is a bhaya, there is a fear all the time, and ultimately that lead to loss of wealth, divide of wealth also, loss of wealth also. That is the promise of Rahu when sitting in any birth chart in Netrapani Avastha. Dust Vyala, Vyal means serp here. So this is the promise starting from the Sayana Avastha, then Upavesana Avastha, then Netrapani Avastha. Anything you have to say, please?
So, in the SayanAadi Avastha, the some exception is some exemption is given to Taurus, to Kanya, to Gemini and Aries Rashi. So what would be the reason of selecting these Rashis only? I mean, if you can throw some light on that.
If you want to join the dots, it's then Taurus and Gemini very much qualified, because following the footprints of Mahaguru Maharishi Parasar and the great Varaha Mihir. So both are saying like one is considering like a Rahu's house and one is Mul Trikon. So these two are giving excellent position. Rahu is very happy over there. So it's like a Earth Trikon, then Kam Trikon. The Bhogi, the Kami is sitting over there. So very happy. I'm following the same thing and just moving forward. Then Virgo is also qualified. One of the Trik Bhav, but one of the Earth Trikona Bhav. Very comfortable place where Rahu is feeling good in Sana Avastha. But the Mahaguru Maharishi Parasa add this one, the Aries also. Aries also. So there might be so many interpretation can be come up. But you know, Aries is the start of the journey. And start of the journey, the extrovertness is the key to excel somewhere. And Rahu is the natural karak for that one. So that might be what really triggered Mahaguru Maharishi Parasa, because whatever knowledge he is imparting method, that is directly came from contemplation and the blessings from Lord Shiva to Mahaguru Maharishi Parasa. So bhakti is tarkatit. But we can think, at this level, we are trying to understand what Mahaguru said. Because each verse, all the time I'm saying, call for papers. So we have to do a lot of research. So for Aries, is surprising. But for others, it's a quite, it's very easy to understand why Mahaguru Maharishi Parasar picked that one. He experienced the behavior of Rahu. He is not saying that it is happening. He experienced, because he was enlightened one, the real enlightened. So that might be the reason. Thank you very much. Then coming to Prakash Avastha, after Netrapani Avastha, the Prakash Avastha. A revelation is coming from the verse number 126. Let's come. प्रकाशने सुहासने स्थितिः कृतिः शुभामृणा धनोन्नतिर्गुणो उन्नतिः सदा विदाम गाविः धराधीपाधिकारा कारिता यशो लता तदा भवेत् नवीनिदाकृत विदेशतो महो उन्नति. So blessing is coming. The great Rahudev. You know, all the planets, they are gods. That's why we are doing, we are in Navagraha Stotra, we are praying every 9 planets. We are not saying it's a papi planet, it's a punya. It's not like that. That's a character. Because in nature, you need all the gunas to understand, to operate the natural things. That's why the Satarastam equally important. So that's why Rahu Dev most powerful, because Chandra Aditya Vimardana. He got an ability, he can give trouble to king of the celestial cabinet. So in this case, Prakash Avastha, Rahu is giving the gracious place, beautiful place, and Rahu is giving fortune, the name and fame. Rahu is giving here wealth, virtue, and that virtue is increasing. Unnati, Mahaguru is using the word unnati, that is increasing and increasing. And here, power is coming from the authority. And if that native is going far away from his birthplace, in foreign land, in Videsh, then more progress, more unnati is in the plate. That's the promise. And he got a sundar sarir. That is, Maharshi is equating that one with the cloud, the natural beauty of the cloud when rain is to be happen. So that the beautiful cloud. So that akriti, that shape, that aura, Mahaguru Maharshi Parasi equating that physical appearance of the native. So it's a quite good promise in Prakash Avastha when Rahudev is sitting in the birth chart. Now, after Prakash Avastha, Gamana Avastha is coming up. So for Gamana Avastha, let's come in the next verse, 126, 27. Gamane cha yada rahu बहुसंतान नरः पंडितो धनवान दाता राजपूज्यो नरो भवे. So Gamane, there is a possibility of having a lot of children, many children, several progenies. That is the promise Rahu is blessing. Native might be Pandit, a scholar, and he is a rich person, charitable person, and respected by even kings. Rajpujya Naro Bhave. Even king, even authority respect him because he is a Pandit. And Pandit, the scholar, everybody respect a scholar. That is the Sanatan Parampara. So that's why he is being respected. And the real knowledge is the key to wealth. The wealth is coming. And Rahu is giving blessing of a lot of Bahu Santan. So that is the Gaman Avastha. After Gaman Avastha, Agaman Avastha, in the next verse, revelation is coming. राहा आगमने क्रोधी सदा धीधन वर्जितः कुटिलाः कृपणाः कामी नरो भवति सर्वदा. So there is a promise, a static promise. I'm stressing upon the static promise because static promise, it doesn't means it's going to be fructified. If it gets a special condition, then only fructified. So it's a Krodhi, very angry and devoid of intellect and wealth. And he's evil hearted. He's a miser and he is a lusty, full of lust is here coming. That is the Agaman Avastha. So again, we did like three, starting from the Prakash Avastha, then Gaman Avastha, then Agaman Avastha. So you have anything to add or ask, please?
I was just wondering that in Prakash Avastha, the Maharshiji is saying that he will be getting more like fame, more progress if he goes to the foreign country. So whenever we talk about Rahu, some unconventional thing is happening. I mean, we always associate Rahu with that. So how you correlate the things? Like why specifically in this Avastha he's talking about getting more fame and progress in foreign country?
But in fact, honestly speaking, it's very hard to logically correlate these static promises because these are the contemplation, abstract knowledge coming out from the descent of the consciousness. This is the real truth. But that is also our responsibility, being the modern custodian of this Shastra. And that is our real responsibility to try to understand these things and bridge the gap between the modern science and this divine science. That's why we are just injecting the logic. And logic can be, everybody can come up with their own interpretation. And I'm not saying this is right, this is wrong. What I'm saying, that is my understanding. So I believe in Prakash Avastha, Rahu is get tendency of being more extrovert because he is now awake, really awake to do something. The extroverted nature is at his, you know, at his real, high. And then the extrovertiveness that will flourish more, being a natural tendency of uh, being alien being, like a foreign element, like an outcast element. That's why if go to that place, then it might be flourish more. So that might be logical interpretation. It can be logical interpretation, but whatever Mahaguru Maharishi Parasa gave that one, that is the abstract knowledge. And the real test is we need to gather the sample of the charts, and then we have to do the the research, the um, and then we have to come up with the if this is happening because it's a pratyaksha shastra. So that is the inner logical research. That is the more the way starting you gather the sample and test the verses. So you pick up the chart, 50, 100 charts where Rahu is in the Prakash Avastha, and then see the life of the native. And then that will give you the trajectory for the prediction. And then the accuracy of the prediction will improve. But that is the reason, like what you said, I also in the same opinion, because the real flavor of the Rahu, extroverted Rahu, the outcast Rahu, the alien Rahu, the foreigner Rahu is coming up. That's why more unnati, more progress when he is going to the foreign land.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we are going to the last three set, starting from the Sabha Avastha. So let's come in the Sabha Avastha. Sabhagato yada Rahu Pandita Kripano Naraha Nana Gunpari Kranto vitt sakhya samanvitaha. So, the Sabha Avastha Rahu is making Nati Pandit. He's a Pandit, he's a scholar, but Kripan, miser. Nana Gun Parikranto, with Sakhya Samanvita, he got a wealth, he got a happiness, he got a virtues. So that is the Sabha Avastha for the Rahu. After Sabha Avastha, I'm right, I think, yeah. So now, after Sabha Avastha, next verse is 28. 28.
I think there are some repetitions, I think, here.
Yeah. So that's why it's okay. Pandito dhanvan data rajpujo naro bhave. That is the for Gaman Avastha.
Gamanavastha.
Gaman Avastha.
Then,
And
so we
then
have to start from, I think, 130.
oh yes, repetition is there. That's why I was thinking why it is coming up.
There's some
Yed
repetition.
gavagamnam tasya yate tada vyakulatum tada rati vidya bhayam mahat bandhuvado jananam nipato bhavetvi tahani satatvam kritam. So now come to this avastha, agaman avastha. So it's a Vyakulita. So Vyakulita is coming. Native is, upset. Because he got a fear from the enemy all the time. The fear is coming from the enemy. And he has tendency of arguing with the people. Arguments, always in the arguments, always living in the fear of the enemies. And there is a loss of immediate family person. That sorrow is also on his head all the time. That is ultimately leading to loss of wealth. He is a weak person and he is a very, stubborn. So that is the disposition. Now Bhojan Avastha. So that's not very good disposition. Now let's come in a Bhojan Avastha. Bhojane Bhojane Nalam Vikalo Manujo Bhave मंद बुद्धिः क्रिया भीरुः स्त्री पुत्र सुख वर्जितः. So bhojan avastha. So it's a problem of having food, proper food. That's the problem. And very dull mind, low level of intellect, mand buddhi. He's a lazy also. So lazy in work, dull in intellect, and devoid of happiness from the women and progeny. Istri putra sukhadi. Sukh vivarjitaha. So that is the bhojan one. So you have any question till bhojan avastha?
No, I think we should continue with and finish the remaining.
Okay. So now 3. Nritya lipsa, kautuk avastha, and nidra avastha. These 3 will do. Nritya lipsa gate rahau mahavyadhi vivardhanam नेत्र रोगी रिपोर भीतिर धना धर्म क्षयो निपान. So nitya lipsa avastha, there is a fear of getting maharog. So it's a not ordinary disease, it's like a very chronic disease. Netra rog, so eye problem. Satru bhay, so fear from enemies, attack of enemies. And there is a loss of dhan, wealth, and loss of dharma also, religion also, the righteous path. Because for dharma, our definition is dharati iti dharmaha. Where Mahaguru is not talking about Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, this dharma. Dharma means the righteous path, what you have to do. So do and don'ts, that is the dharma. So native might fall from the righteous path. This is the static promise of the Rahu Dev. If Rahu Dev is sitting in the Nritya Lipsa Avastha. Now Kautuk Avastha. Kautuk Avastha, revelation is coming from the verse number 133. Kautuke cha yada rahu asthanhino nare bhave pardar rato nityam parvitapharakaha. Kautuk Avastha asthan hani. Asthan hani, we know Saturn is also doing same thing, sometimes. Like you will lose your place. Somebody get bad or good transfer, the movements. So you are losing your place, or selling your place, and what is happening, a lot of other factors. So that's asthan hani. So that is the asthan hani. And the asakti, the lust towards the other women's, pardar rato, that is that lust. And lobhi, the greed for the others property also. So greed for other property and lust for others women. And asthan hani is the promise. So you can understand how Rahu is cursing here in Kautuk Avastha. Now in Nidra Avastha, let's come. The last one, the Nidra Avastha, is starting from the SayanAadi Avastha, the 12th cycle, and then coming up here. 12 has a lot of meaning. Even in Kram system, we got a 12 Kalis and the 12 flames. So 12 has a lot of meaning also, because in 3, the multiple of 3 times 4 is 12. So that also we can understand. That is another outlook to understand these words. So that's why I'm saying a lot of interpretation can be done to understand this Shastra. So each mantra is calling for a research paper. Let's do the verse 34. Indravastham gate rahu gunagram yuto naraha kanta santanvan dhiro garvito bahuvitevan. Virtuous person, a lot of virtues, full of virtues. Gun gram yuto. So gram, gram the village. So like a village of virtue. So how many virtues? Anek virtues, many virtues. That is. Kanta, here the istri, the women. Kanta santanvana. So he got a blessings of having women, having progeny. That blessing is coming. That happiness from them is coming up. He is a dhiro, patient. The dhir is the attribute of a veer. So, brave can be patient. Impatience is a negative attribute. A brave is not impatient. And garvito, he is a self-esteem, full of self-esteem, full of pride. Mahadhanavan, Bahubhityavan. So very rich, highly rich person. That blessing is coming up from Rahu Dev for the native if he is sitting in the birth chart in Nidra Avastha. So that's all for Rahu Dev, the 12 Avastha, 12 SayanAadi Avastha for the Rahu Dev, if Rahu Dev is sitting in the birth chart. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please.
In that case, Kautuk Avastha is not that good, but Nidra Avastha can be considered quite auspicious that way. It's giving good result.
Yes.
One more. Kautuk Avastha, it's behaving more like Saturn. Rahu,
Actually, if you holistically, please tell.
like we say na, that Rahu has similarity with Saturn. Sometimes if you see, so maybe that would be the flavor is coming in some of the avasthas. That can we say that?
Yes, flavor is coming. That's absolutely true. But what is good and what is bad, it's very hard to say for any native merely seeing one planet and one avastha of the planet. Because
Yeah,
cosmos is doing very purposeful. This cosmos is very purposeful. So nothing is happening without a reason. So if anybody born, any native is coming, touching this planet, then cosmos must have some planning. So what is good, what is bad, if you see holistically the life pattern of the native, then only you can say, because sometimes hard times required to excel in life. So we don't know at this stage. Here, Mahaguru Mercy Parasar is just revealing the, what can be the possibility, the static promises, if the Rahu Dev is in the particular avastha. But materialistic point of view, you can say, yes, the Kautik avastha, Sthan, Heen, and the Pardara Rato, Parvitya Paharaka. So how can you say the good thing? You cannot say good thing. So materialistically, you are right, but Cosmos might have some big plans for this native because he wants to show something. Then he can drag him. So, like holistically see the chart. That is the prerequisite for Daivagya, because you can see holistically. Even Daivagyas are not only seeing this life; they are seeing at least the three life from one chart. So how holistically this is? If we are saying holistically, not from this end, from the this birth to this death, even even previous birth and the next birth also. That's why Trikal Darsi. So we are saying the big astrologers, Jyotish, they are Trikal Darsi. They are seeing at least three kal, three janam they can see. So these are the case. So these are the revelations by Mahaguru Maharishi Parashar, blessings on us. Because just like Arjun and Krishna Sambad in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjun representing the whole humanity, and Krishna is a super consciousness, and he is delivering lecture. So Arjun was not only benefited, whole humanity benefited. In the same manner, Mahaguru Maharishi Parashar revealing the truth. Maitreya is representing us. So Maitreya is not only benefited, we are also benefited. That's like Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev.
thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for listening to us. So we will continue with this in the next episode with different SayanAadi Avasthas of Ketu. Thank you.
Jai Gurudev.